Welcome back. We're at round one of the U.S. Sprint Enduro at south of the border MX track. It was a beautiful weekend here at the SOB MX Motocross training facility, and what a beautiful facility it is. If you're looking for a place to come out and test your skills, this is the place to come. Trail Seeker Adventure is going to get you out on the track so you can see what round one was all about. But first, let's talk about south of the border. What a unique area this is in South Carolina, south of North Carolina border. There's many things here to see and do. Everything from MX to miniature golf, a lot of different restaurants, but one thing we did is have our 2022 banquet, and the champions was able to bring in their bikes to show them off, and I was able to bring in my 2022 Beta 300RR. Big thanks to Elkins Motorsports for helping Heidi and I. Heidi was able to win the 40 plus women's championship, and I was able to get the senior A 40 plus championship for 2022. The pros was ripping up the track, and Johnny Gerard was right on top. Zach Osborne had a bad day on Saturday, but he kept Johnny honest on day 2. Josh Toth was able to come home third for the weekend. Cody Barnes was able to take home the win in the Pro 2. Rachel Archer won the Pro Women's. Corey Steed was second. Mackenzie Tricker third, and Rachel Goodish was fourth. Shelby Turner ended up the top 5. I was pretty busy this weekend, so I didn't get a lot of video of the pros or the amateurs. But they definitely was making it look easy. It's so fun to come out and be able to stand shoulder to shoulder with the pros that come out and run the exact same course as us amateurs. I will be running the 50A Super Senior 50 Plus. Yes, I am super and I am a senior. And the goal at the U.S. Sprint Enduro is to go as fast as you can without doing this or this or this. Definitely none of this. But as you can see, I've done plenty of it. So let's get out and see what round one had to offer here at the SOB Motocross Complex. In front of me, you'll see Troy Stanley. He took the first place position on the 50 Super Senior. I started the weekend out pretty slow. I am testing out my brand new ACL. And as you can see, it was a little muddy out here. On day 1, I ended up 4th, about 10 seconds back from 3rd. On day 2, I was able to finish the day 2nd behind Troy. Hunter Huck and I had a good battle back and forth, but he beat me for the weekend. I ended up 3rd for the overall on the weekend. This is the Enduro test. The U.S. Sprint Enduro is a 2-day event. You have 6 tests, 3 cross tests, and 3 Enduro. You're to go as fast as you can and make the least amount of mistakes as possible. Most of the time, the cross tests consist of a turn track. The SOB MX complex has a moto track, so we was able to get out and hit some of the easier jumps and weave in between the more manly jumps, and I was okay with that. because jumping was not on my thing to do for this weekend. Last thing I needed to do is go goon on a jump and have to throw my foot down. And the goal is to stay on the track, in between the ribbons. As I said, this is the Enduro track. It usually takes place in the woods. Billy was able to utilize just about every spot of woods on the SOB complex. We had to run across the moto track for just a second to get over here in the ponds. The soil is a sand clay mix. It got pretty ruddy with the sand. They got a lot of rain on the week before. So ruts and roots was the main problem that we had to look out for on the Enduro. As I mentioned earlier, I am running my 2020 300RR Beta. I'm testing out my new DGS suspension setup. And I'm loving what Russ has been able to do for this bike. I'm not totally up to speed yet. Riding a little scared, a little cautious, and that's never good. You make more mistakes, you're riding stiff. But I'm out here totally enjoying the South Carolina weather. Trying to make the least amount of mistakes and go as fast as I can. We had a little bit of everything out here, from this open woods to some tight technical woods. The last 100 to 200 feet was super tight, a lot of ruts, a lot of roots to contend with. And to be honest with you, the last 50 feet was probably the worst of the entire track. The ground was soaked, and you never knew where a sinkhole was going to show up. I felt that I was moving pretty good on the Enduro, but it's so crazy to think that you're going so fast when you're on such the edge. And then you look at your times and you're kind of disappointed in your times. But the crazy thing is how fast other people can come out here and lay down a lap. This is really the only location that we had different options. The rest of the track was pretty single track. It's just how fast you can take the turns and how smooth you can be. But the track definitely did get beat up from day 1 to day 2. This is actually my middle test on the Enduro on day 2. I wanted to show you how rough it kind of got. We're getting ready to come across the SOB Supercross training facility. It's there on the right. And we're coming into the more technical part of the track for the weekend. The track crew had their hands full. They kept having to rearrange the track in order to eliminate the sinkholes. Well, what an awesome job they did. This one almost got me. That was about the worst I got into one of the sinkholes. I was able to power my way through it. Coming out onto the main motocross section. Working our way back to the finish. And the Enduro test usually is about 3 miles, 3 to 4 miles. The cross test is usually the same as well. Picking good lines, trying to be smooth and make as few mistakes is key. You can't see what your competition is doing. I actually went down the test before this on the Enduro. Thought, okay, I just gave up 15 seconds. This is going to really be bad. I hammered down, tried to do as good as I could, and my competition actually went down right before the finish line, and I actually did make up some time on them. This is the most technical section of the Enduro test. We're getting ready to come out into the field. Right before the finish, you would think, okay, I've got it made now. But this was the sketchiest part of the entire Enduro lap. It was super slick. Holes kept developing. But I was able to get to the finish every time without embarrassing myself in front of the crowd. Now let's go check out the cross test. When you sign up, you'll get a number. That is the number of your class. Mine started with 200. I was 201. Troy Stanley just took off. He's ripping the course. You can give him 10 seconds, or you can take off, I think, with a minimum of 5 seconds. Troy was ripping up the course, so I thought I would give him 5 seconds and take off and see if I could catch up with him or keep his pace. The left-hand turns was where I was suffering most due to my leg, but I'm starting to get a little confidence in the old leg with the new MCL. But the last thing I want to do is dab it and screw it up for another full year. No time to worry about that. You gotta twist the throttle and hope for the best. One thing I was not going to do, I wasn't doing the jumps. I was barely able to do the ruts. But this track was awesome. The ruts developed. I've never been able to run a rut as well as I could here. I'm not sure if it was the DGS suspension that I got on this beta, or if I'm finally starting to figure out how to ride a rut. Troy was able to do this little double. It really didn't look like it was that bad at all, but I did not want to get jacked up and have to throw the foot down. So this old man staying on the ground. Had a lot of you guys come up and say, hey, we watch your videos, you're the reason why I'm here today. Checked it out, thought it looked like it's something fun to do, and that is why we do these videos. I don't make $1 on it. I'm able to make money on it, but I just don't want that hassle. I just want to go out, ride my dirt bike, and find places for you all to be able to bring your family and friends to come out and enjoy the trail. But thank you so much for coming up and letting Heidi and I know that you watch the channel, and we love talking to you. I believe these are called the 10 Commandments, and this is one thing that I wish I would have went ahead and tried. That sucked up so much time going through every one of those, but I just didn't do it. Most of the time we're out in the middle of a big field, and the course is just basically one turn after another. But it is kind of nice getting out here on a moto track. The ruts developed perfectly. Some turns didn't have that many ruts, but most of the ruts was not too deep. If you was at the race, leave a comment. Let us know how you enjoyed the US Sprint Enduro. I know some of you that came up and was telling us this was your first time coming to one of these events. It was a sold out crowd at round 1 of the US Sprint Enduro. So the track seen a lot of punishment, but it held up fairly well, at least the cross test did. The crew had their hands full on the Enduro, trying to keep y'all getting around. I normally run my Beta 430 race edition at the sprints, but I had issues with it before the race, so I'm out here on my 2-stroke. I think I'd have done a little better on my 4-stroke. I mostly keep the old 2-stroke for muddy, more technical tracks. This is one of the turns that I went down in. And this is another turn that I went down in. Stupid mistakes. At the end of day 2, I think I was just maybe 10 to 12 seconds behind 3rd place. And that's basically one of those go downs. It cost me at least that much time. So that shows you how much every turn, every mistake makes a difference in your race. Whether it's a 2-hour race or a 6 or 7, 8 minute lap. In case this is the first time you watch one of our videos, we are Trail Seeker Adventures. We bring the camera with us everywhere we go. Heidi and I, we go out, we do mountain biking, snowboarding, hiking, we race GNCC, US Sprint Enduro, SXCS, Mountain State Hare Scramble, New East Coast. We've done many different things. I race both 4-wheelers and motorcycles. We go to ride parks such as the West Virginia Hatfield McCoy Trails. We've been to Plume Motorcycle Park. We've been out west. And we bring the camera, that way you can see if that is a trail race event ride park that you would like to be able to go out, take your family and friends, test it out. That way you can see if it's something you're interested without even getting off the couch and having to load your bike. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel. I'm just a big old goon out here racing a dirt bike. I am 54. Actually, this was my birthday weekend. All of you that came by the pit wished me a happy birthday. Thank you so much. But I am an old man just out here enjoying racing and riding dirt bikes. Make sure you like and subscribe. That way you can see if one of my race events or ride parks that we visit is something for you. It was a beautiful weekend. The U.S. Enduro crew did an awesome job out here south of the border, South Carolina. Heidi and I both had an awesome time. I ended up third for the weekend. Not bad for having surgery 5 months ago. Only been on the bike one time before this, so I was okay with that. Heidi was able to win her event. Now it's time to get to the truck, load her up, and head back to the mountain state of West Virginia. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Until the next video, catch you later. See you at the track. Other than not jumping, I felt really good that time. How'd your bike feel? How'd your bike feel?